Larry, how do I turn the microphone on? Not that it.
Yeah, we should
Switch at the very bottom.
don't forget to. Sorry.
Jackie, thank you. Good evening and welcome to the 2026 Mount Scottney School District Annual Meeting. If able, please rise for the. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My name is Kate Williams and I will be your moderator this evening. Before I continue with the introductions, I hope it's all right if I take a moment to recognize Matthew Birmingham. The West Windsor contingent of this table is well aware of apparently 34 years of service as a predecessor of mine in town and school moderating. 25 years ago, when I was a Windsor Chronicle reporter, I would watch hours of Matt and his command of the room. He led with wit and charm and devilish grins, and he was also kind. And he personally, my mom was a colleague, and I considered him a great friend. And his passing last month, from my family and my community in Windsor, we send our deepest, heartfelt, sincere condolences. And that was special, and he will be missed. Yes.
And before we fully get going too, I would just like to recognize that this is the last meeting for our colleague, Nancy Pedrick, who has been a member of this board for a decade now, I believe.
11 years.
11 years, there we go, a decade plus one.
Yeah, since before the board.
Since before the board, one of our folks has been here around longer than this board has. I've been really greatly appreciative of Nancy's presence on this board in my 5-ish years on the board. You know, the experience and perspective and guidance for somebody who has not been here for 11 years. It has been really, really fantastic to serve in this position alongside you. You will be missed in this space, but I look forward to seeing you around the community, and I hope you enjoy your time after your time on the board here.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciated all you people here. You've been just incredible, and I know our schools will continue to be such good hits. And I thank you for all of your special care of mine too. So thank you so much.
On to introductions. We should start with Superintendent of Schools.
I am Christine Bourne, Superintendent at Windsor Southeast Supervisory Union.
Bridget Farriel, Director of Curriculum.
Davis McGraw, school board member from Windsor and chair of the Mount Scottney School District Board.
I am Tracy Thompson. I'm the elementary school principal here at Windsor.
Jennifer Aldridge, principal over at Albert School.
I'm now our CFO of the SU.
Hi, excuse me. I'm Elizabeth Rose, and I am a West Windsor representative from the board.
And Nancy Pedrick, West Windsor.
Megan Reed, Windsor.
Colleen DeSham, middle school principal, Windsor.
Kate Ryan, high school principal.
Okay. I will now commence with the reading of the warning. Mount Scottney School District warning for annual district meeting in person and virtual. I will confirm at this time there are no members attending this meeting virtually. It has been confirmed. Wednesday, February 18, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at Windsor School Room 210, 19 Scottney Street, Windsor, Vermont, or Google Meet. Voting by Australian ballot, Tuesday, March 3, 2026 at Building 29 Union Street, Windsor, Vermont, or Story Memorial Hall, 22 Brownsville, Heartland Road, West Windsor, Vermont. Polls open 9 a.m. Polls close 7 p.m. The legal voters of the Mount Scottney School District are hereby notified and warned to meet in person at Windsor School, room 210, 19 Scottney Street in Windsor, Vermont, or virtually on Wednesday, February 18, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. to transact any business not involving voting by Australian ballot or any voting required by law to be by ballot. Such meeting so started shall be adjourned to Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. The February 18th meeting shall include the public informational meeting on the articles to be voted by Australian ballot. To join virtually the Wednesday, February 18, 2026 annual Mount Scottney School District meeting with Google Meet, meet.google.com/AJX/DGAN-XXS. To join by phone, US 1-937-802-4250, PIN 357-726-909, hashtag. The legal voters of the Mount Scottney School District are further notified and warned to meet at the Windsor Municipal Building, 29 Union Street in Windsor, Vermont, or Story Memorial Hall, 22 Brownsville Heartland Road in West Windsor, Vermont, on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, to act on any business involving voting by Australian ballot or any voting required by law to be by ballot. Polls open at 9 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. Article 1, to act on the reports of the Mount Scottney School District officers for the past year from July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025 by Australian ballot. Do I hear a motion to adopt Article 1 for discussion? Motion has been made by Jennifer Aldrich. Is there a second? Motion seconded by Nancy Pedrick. Is there any discussion on Article 1? Hearing none. There's still no one virtually. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor of adopting Article 1 for Australian ballot tomorrow, or what day is it? I said it over and over again. March 3rd, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Article 1 is adopted as written in your warning. Article 2, to elect the Mount Scottney School District officers for the ensuing year by Australian ballot. Is there a motion to adopt Article 2 for discussion? Motion has been made by Jennifer Aldrich. Is there a second? Motion has been seconded by Amy Carmichael. Is there any discussion on Article 2? Hearing none, are you ready for the question? Article 2. All those in favor of adopting Article 2 as written in your warning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Article 2 is adopted as written in your warning. Article 3, to vote that the Mount Scottney School District is authorized to borrow money in anticipation of taxes to meet the requirements of the school district for the ensuing year and to authorize the execution and delivery of notes or orders to the school district by Australian ballot. Is there a motion to adopt Article 3 for discussion? Motion has been made by Jennifer Aldrich. Is there a second?
Second.
There you are, Larry. Nice to see you. Seconded by Larry Dower. Is there any discussion on Article 3? Hearing none, are you ready for the question? All those in favor of adopting Article 3 for Australian ballot on March 3rd, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Article 3 is adopted as written in your warning. Article 4. Shall the voters of the Mount Scottney School District approve the school board to expend $16,624,852, which is the amount the school board has determined to be necessary for the ensuing fiscal year? The Mount Scottney School District estimates that this proposed budget, if approved, will result in per pupil education spending of $17,578.68, which is 14.82% higher than per pupil education spending for the current year by Australian ballot. Is there a motion to adopt Article for Amy McMullen. Do I see a second? Seconded by Jennifer Aldrich. Is there must be a presentation on I hand it over to Superintendent Suzanne Warren.
All right,
Christine, I'm gonna just get over this next round.
Totally great. I'm grateful that you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really are. Thank you, and I'm gonna start us off by talking a little bit about our strategic plan, and then our administrators will carry you through a presentation on how the strategic plan affects the budget. So nearly 6 years ago, we had a diverse group of stakeholders come together to create our strategic plan, which is our North Star. It guides everything that we do and helps us achieve student success. As part of the work that this group did, they identified 5 core competencies, and those are empathy, perseverance, integrity, communication, and critical thinking. And these are the skills that employers are looking for in people that they hire, and colleges are looking for, and tech career centers are looking for in their in the people that join those places. So we think they're really important, and one of our main goals is to make sure our students have these skills when they leave our system. Our strategic plan is built on 3 goals: student success and engagement, culture and student wellness, and information and communication. Culture and student wellness are at the heart of the work that we do, because we know that for our students to be successful in school and to thrive in school, they need to feel safe, and they need to feel healthy, and they need to be seen. And to meet this goal, we are investing in the people who make that happen for our kids, our teachers, our support staff members, our kitchen staff, our administrators, our counselors, our social emotional interventionists, our academic interventionists, our curriculum directors. There's a lot of people involved in making that happen in our systems. But they're there to ensure that our schools are trauma responsive and inclusive of every child's unique story. And we've been working really, really hard to make sure every student has, feels a sense of belonging in our system. We also have been reimagining what student success looks like across our districts. And we are focusing on giving students some voice and choice and agency and leadership in their educational experience, which is really important. They set their own goals and they lead some of their own learning. And with our the high quality ELA, English Language Arts, and math curriculums that we've implemented, and our options for electives, we are ensuring that our school is both challenging and engaging for our students. For information and communication, we really value keeping our parents and our caretakers and our community members connected to this journey that we're on. We keep our website updated. We send out regular newsletters. We started an Instagram this year, so if you haven't joined, we encourage you to sign on. We're sharing all of the many of the wonderful things that our kids are doing and achieving at school. And we want that communication between our families to continue to grow really strong, because we know that that's a really important piece of student success. So the budget goals you're going to hear about are in line with our vision and our strategic plan, and connected to those. So I'm going to turn it over to Kate Ryan. She is going to talk about the budget goals.
Our primary goal is to invest in the whole child, ensuring our staffing and programs support not just the academic rigor, but the essential social and emotional growth of every student. In doing so, we worked hard to present a number that is fiscally responsible, meeting our state quality standards while remaining acutely aware of the financial needs of our community. Specifically, this budget adjusts for our latest enrollment numbers and provides the necessary resources to meet the early literacy mandates required by Act 139.
Sorry.
This is a look at the data. Our budget is following the data. We've seen a shift from a peak of 672 students 2 years ago to 600 for this cycle, and a projected 600 for the upcoming budget cycle. The budget responds to an almost 10% shift by aligning our workforce with current enrollment numbers, ensuring that our tax dollars are spent on student needs rather than excess capacity. Moving on to the high school level, I want to highlight how this budget operationalizes our strategic plan. We aren't just funding a building, we are funding a specific experience defined by 3 pillars: academics, opportunity, and culture. First, regarding curriculum, this budget is built on efficiency. We're ensuring appropriate staffing levels that allow us to run core classes that meet our minimal class size targets, ensuring we are fiscally responsible with our instructional plan. However, we're balancing that efficiency with varied electives, ensuring students have access to the diverse subjects that spark their interest and prepare them for college and careers. We also focus on opportunity and experience. We're investing, as you can see, we are investing in our students. They are winning awards and working on projects. High school is about application. This budget preserves the funding for March intensives, fine arts, and flexible pathways. These programs are critical because they allow students to apply their learning in real-world contexts, whether that's through travel, the arts, or independent study. Finally, we focus on cultural and student wellness. This directly supports our whole child goal. We're maintaining funding for internal cultural builders like our SWARM advisory program and community service initiatives. Crucially, this budget also supports our partnerships with external agencies like HCRF and our SEI work. These are safety nets that ensure our students are mentally and emotionally healthy enough to show up and learn every day.
In our middle school, the way the budget supports our strategic plan is through student success and engagement, culture, and student wellness. One of the most important things for our middle school to build on for student success is our multi-tiered system of support and how our full-time staff, part-time staff, support staff uses that to build student interventions, student universal plans, student social emotional plans, behavior plans to help our students be ready to learn and come prepared with everything they need. Our student support services, our budget supports the student support services, the paraeducators, we are Hope coaches, our contracted support services, social emotional interventionists. All of these support services help have our students ready for learning to meet their academic needs and their expectations in the classroom. Student mentoring across the building. We're very lucky in our pre-K through 12 building to help have that to work with our middle schoolers to work with younger students, high schoolers to work with middle schoolers and support that engagement across the building. With our culture and student wellness, we are looking at always building up our student leadership, our advisory programming. We are looking and working with our other teammates in the SU to look at equitable programming for all of our students when it comes to leadership and celebrations and activities that our middle schoolers can get involved in. We want our leaders to have student choice and middle school electives. We're working very closely with the high school and our staff to offer as many electives as we can to our students. Part of student wellness is having access and education from our nurse, our medical office, our HCRS team, our student assistance providers, and school counselors, and all of our support people. We are wanting to make sure that this is a fiscally responsible budget and supporting our middle school students at their age appropriate level and all the needs that come with our adolescents.
So Jennifer and I share the responsibility of the elementary students and how the budget supports them. Their learning is the foundation of their educational career, and making sure that they leave us solid in what they know is just critical. And whether that means it's the core instruction that they receive in the classroom for students that fall behind, it's making sure that we have the people and the staffing and the resources to not let them get too far before we address the needs that they have through intervention. This budget lets us maintain that, make sure we meet their needs through the assessments that we're using now and the curriculum the targeted intervention, we are seeing growth and there's great progress and we need to continue that for our students. I also think something so important for our young students is to learn how to learn. And that comes from our social emotional interventionists and all the extra things that we have to teach our kids how to do, how to pick themselves up, how to be resilient learners, how to be intentional in their learning and rigorous and not give up. And so our enrichment opportunities offer that for them. Where can they build their confidence? Where can they try new things and what that they want to maybe do in their lives as they grow older? So it supports us continuing the enrichment that we've been offering this year to our students and opening up their eyes to things they haven't tried before. So diversity, right? Having that diverse opportunities for them to try. I just can't speak enough about how important the foundation of their learning is. It is moving kids forward without a strong learning foundation and a strong sense of who they are and what they want and what they need, asking for help. We just have to provide that to them before they get too far into their education and feel defeated. So our intervention team, our targeted instruction, our core instruction, our tier 1 instruction, it allows us to do that in this budget. And then Jennifer was going to pick up on more.
Yes, so we know that academic success does not happen without emotional stability. Do you want me to stand there? Yeah. I understand that that's what somebody can talk to it. But, all right, I'll start. So we know that academic learning cannot happen without emotional stability. And we also know that we are in a time now where our children are coming to school with very different skill sets than they used to come to school with, which puts a burden on schools to be able to address those needs before we can address the academic needs. We believe one of the most important things we can do as a school is to create a sense of belonging. And that is not just a belonging in the school, but a sense of belonging amongst our community, amongst our families. And so part of this budget is continuing to increase and engage our families as well as our community to help come to the school and come together to help support our kids. Our primary approach to teaching children how we want them to be is through the responsive classroom approach. And through that, the responsive classroom approach, we work diligently with children to say what we want to see in ways that are developmentally appropriate for them. So while all kids come to us from all different backgrounds, we know that when we come to school, we are here to teach them how to do school and how to be a part of a community amongst peers. And so a big part of what we do is teach and reteach the expectations and provide opportunities for kids to learn in ways that work for them. We also believe that helping children find their own voice through leadership opportunities, whether that is through their ability to lead in academic areas, their ability to lead themselves, or their ability to lead their peers. These are ways that help kids feel a sense of competence moving forward as they go through life. And when we can teach kids how to respond to challenges in their community in civil ways, we believe we have a much more hopeful future for a democratic society. As Tracy mentioned, we do want to help them to learn to be learners. So really helping children think about their own thinking is something that I don't know, most of us probably did not get to do as young kids. But helping them think about what it is they're thinking, why they're thinking it, and why they feel things is critical for them to move forward. And on top of that, we want to make sure that while we're doing this work, we want to celebrate the success of every child, whatever it is that they are doing. Every child, we believe, has genius, has something in them that they can bring to the table that they can share with the world. And so we want to help celebrate that with them. So as we move forward, we do have social emotional interventionists, the SEIs that have been mentioned in the past, that are a big part of our ability to meet the needs of our kids, to sit there beside them as we go through tough stuff, to help them navigate and walk through the emotional challenges that they're struggling with. And this is all for the benefit of the whole child. So as we move forward with this budget, that is, I know the team's and the board's goal is to think about the entire child and how we can help them find their best potential.
All right, so the budget book is online. You can see the QR code. It's been on the website since October. There will be outbreak if I get up here. You can scan the QR code and link to the budget book. It's been up since October. This presentation doesn't go line by line, but the line by line is in the budget book. Next. Dave.
The funding sources for our schools are local taxes, State of Vermont Education Fund, private grants, parent-teacher organizations, or in West Windsor, the School Community and Partnership Group, generous donations from families, teachers, and community members, volunteers, and teachers owned.
The budget drivers for this year are negotiated wages. So the contract for teachers is continues through fiscal year 27. Our contracts for support staff goes through fiscal year 28. So those are already in the budget. Health insurance is up 7.3 increase. That's negotiated at state level. It's not the double digits we've been seeing, but it's still outpacing inflation. SU assessments, the SU budget is up 16%, 14.6% of which is special education, and 1.4% of which is administration operations. That includes curriculum, the business office, the superintendent, IT, etc., HR. Speaking of health insurance, you can see the far left is fiscal year 19 and the far right is fiscal year 27, what we are budgeting for. And you can see that since fiscal year 19, health insurance costs for the Gold CDH plan, which is 80% of our employees, the vast majority of them, it has doubled for both the family plan and the single plan. So for example, it was under 20,000 fiscal year 19. Fiscal year 20, the state took over negotiations and it has gone up from under 20,000 to over 43,000 we are budgeting for in fiscal year 27, and that's a set cost. Normally, in the old days, the association would sit down with board chairs, just like we negotiate wages, we would negotiate health insurance breakdowns, but now that is done up in Montpelier.
Staffing adjustments at Windsor, we're doing a 2.6 reduction in full-time employees. Staffing adjustments at Albert Bridge are a 1.0 full-time reduction in employees.
This graphic shows the total expenditures by type. So because Mount Scotty School District operates as a K-12, more of your local dollar goes into the local school since you're not paying for high school tuition. So about 68% of your budget dollar is the local budget, K through 12. And that includes obviously Albert Bridge and Windsor. SU special education is 18%. SU administration operations we talked about before was 9.63%. 2% is our early childhood program, which is a pre-K program. That also includes Act 166 kids. And then SU food services comes in under just under 2%. Showing the historical tax comparison, this shows the tax rate percentage change over time before the CLAs applied for Windsor versus West Windsor. If you saw it with Windsor, and if you saw it after the CLA was applied, that line would look much differently because Windsor and West Windsor both went through a reassessment 2 years ago, and your tax rate would go way down, even though your taxes have gone up. So this accounts for that by doing showing a comparison before the CLA is applied. You can see that the district rate before the CLA is applied of 21. This shows actually since the merger. So I went all the way back to 21. Fiscal year 20 was the first year of the merger, and there was nothing to compare it to. So we started in fiscal year 21, and you can see that the tax rate was down before CLA, and it's gone up with a big spike this year, and we are expecting a smaller percentage increase, but still an increase for fiscal year 27. If you averaged out that increase over those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fiscal years, that would be a 3.9 increase per year before the CLA is applied. What does that mean for property taxpayers? I gotta see Sandy Dufour. Windsor property is, for example, in Windsor, the annual change would be $193 on a $100,000 home. to see what it would be for a $200,000 home, you would just double that. And if you want to see what a $300,000 home would be, you would just triple that. In West Windsor, it's a slightly smaller increase based on the CLA. For a $100,000 home in West Windsor, it would be $150 annual change. If it was a, $400,000 home, it'd be a $600 annual change, or about $50 a month.
So, voting information, Windsor and West Windsor. Kate shared this earlier. Sorry about that. Just want to share voting day information for Windsor and West Windsor is March 3rd. In Windsor, the location is the Rec Center Gymnasium. In West Windsor, it's the Town Hall. And the hours are from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. We also want to, and we'll share this out, some voting day information for people with a disability. There are some resources here for you to access. The voting guide, and some voting day information. And we will share this out. We'll get it on the website for people.
Yeah.
And some other voting day information resources for people to access if they need them. And we are, that concludes the presentation. We're open for questions.
I feel welcome.
To confirm, there is still no one online. Any further discussion? Hearing none, are we ready for the question? All those in favor of adopting Article 4 as written in your warning, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Article 4 is adopted as written in your warning. Article 5, to transact any other business which may properly come before this meeting. This article does not require a motion. It is your chance to discuss. I say it every year. I beg and plead someone to have something, an idea or a thought or a concern or a praise and does anyone have such a desire to speak?
Kate, do you want to share about the science fair?
I took that last thing you did. Oh,
Say-
well,
It's pulling teeth.
we recently had our science fair and we are sending on, and the picture is in, if you go back a couple of slides.
Okay.
It was on the high school one. This one. Yep, there are winners, and on March 14th, Catherine will be taking that group to Norwich, where they'll be at the Seed Science Fair, and I anticipate good news. We have good news every year. If you didn't get a chance to see it, the projects were well beyond the scope of anything that I could have presented in my 40s, let alone teens. So we're really happy about that. There will be big announcements coming soon about students who are and have been chosen for finalists or going on in the state or music, which we've never had before. So that'll be exciting.
Like to thank members of the Mount Scotty School District Budget Advisory Committee. We had different group. Usually it's the same people year after year and not just Scotty, but a lot of these budget advisory committees. So it was a different group and they asked good questions and they're excited. I don't know if excited is the right word. They are ready to do the work for the fiscal 20. Not as exciting as now.
Anyone else?
I'd like to add that this is a busy time of year. Our students are looking forward to a lot of fun and excitement with vacation coming up. They have winter carnival events, winter enrichment events, a lot of fun things. I'd like to shout out our 4th grade and 8th grade. They just went through the process of the National Assessment Program with all fourth graders and eighth graders taking a national assessment to just share what students are learning across the country. And they participated in that in the last 2 days. And our middle school students were excited to participate and be awarded their first semester honor roll in our monthly Student of the Month. And just a lot of fun things and leadership going on at the middle school. I'm happy to shout out those students.
Anyone else? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Motion made by Jennifer Aldrich. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Your meeting is adjourned at 7:06 p.m. We'll see everybody March 3rd, 9 a.m. bright and early.